Welcome guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, quick video on a few beginner techniques for drifting with the wheel on the CarX. Now I'm using a Logitech wheel, there's no adaptations to it, it's completely stock. Even the brake pedal has the rubber bung in it. I'm sure the majority of you will be using either a Logitech or a Thrustmaster. Hopefully these techniques will apply to both equally. So before we get started, we're just going to quickly run into a few things. When you get your wheel, you definitely want to set your rotation as high as possible. It's your choice how you do that, of course. But I'm going to run 900 here, and I think obviously it's better for everybody if they try and go as high as possible to start with. But you can dial it back if you feel like it's not quite working for you. So in this case, I've dialed my feedback down to 0.8, solely to try and eliminate some of the wheel wobble that happens in the game. It doesn't go away on the Logitech for some reason, even at really low feedback. It just tends to rock very slightly. If you are on console, obviously you're probably going to want to lower your feedback considerably, because I think it works on about half the range, so about 0.4, maybe 0.5, depending on how you like it. And then we're just going to quickly calibrate our wheel. So to do that, we're going to go down to calibration. We're going to start the calibration down here again. Then we're going to go all the way to the left, hit the bump stop, all the way back, hit the bump stop, hit stop, and that's it done. That's calibration over with. Come back out of that now. Just a quick guide, if you're running an external handbrake, you will see down here an allowed axis button. You can see here all of the ranges of 0 on them, but this one is showing an axis on 6. So when I pull that, obviously that works. So to assign it, you just go to your handbrake here, click handbrake, and if it's not assigned, you can just pull it and it should do it. But then if not, you can select the axis inside there as well. Okay, so we've quickly run through calibration and wheel settings, so we're going to go into the garage now. So when you start the game, you're going to start off in the first class of cars, which for all intents and purposes are quite good, but they're not really ideal to learn with on the drift setup. You need to get to a level 11 before it will let you use the ultimate drift package, so we're not going to use the ultimate drift package today. This is all centered around just the drift package, and we're going to use one or two cars in tier 2. Both the Caravan G6 or the Volvo and the Mifune, the Lexus or Toyota, depending on how you want to call it, these cars both have 60 degrees of lock on the drift package, which is quite high. So we're going to use these because it's, extra lock is always a good thing. It's useful and will help you. So the tune, we're going to look at we can only change a few parameters when we're inside the drift setup. We're going to go into Dynostand. It only gives us suspension, wheels and brakes. We're missing the gearing and the engine part of this, so we can't adjust those as we would like to. But here's the tune. We're going to just quickly run through if you guys want to pop this on your car. And I do realise I don't have the Volvo tune, but I will pop a Volvo tune up if you guys want to use it for left-hand drive. It's quite convenient that there's both a left-hand drive and a right-hand drive car inside the bracket here. I, obviously being from the UK, I prefer the right-hand drive, and I use the inside view when I'm drifting. So depending on what view you use, obviously it may not matter. How do we get to level 2? Well, unfortunately, level 2 doesn't take that long to get to, and the cars aren't expensive, but you will need to grind through level 1. And I think the fastest way to do that without stressing yourself trying to learn how to drift is to use the time attack mode. So obviously go to your single player, hit time attack, hit the parking A, pick any of your tier 1 cars and just have a little bit of fun learning how the car drives, throw it around a bit, see if you can get the gold. Obviously that will get you the most XP and the most money, and just grind your way up to level 2. Okay, so we've set the pedal cam up, we've got the wheel cam going. Let's go and do some demos, some exercises. We're going to do it on parking A. Again, it's the first track you're going to have unlocked. You're not going to have to grind for any tracks. What we are going to do is we're going to come back round for the first couple exercises, and we're going to go up onto the car park. Now, as I say, I use the inside view, but I've been practicing to drift with this outside view. Brake in there just to bring the car in. We're going to go up to the top. Alright, so we've got a fairly open space here with nothing to hit. So the very first technique I want to try and get you guys to do is just to put the car into the slide and catch it. I've been teaching Kaylee to drift and she's come a long way, and this was the first exercise, so just let the car do a drift, and then just let it go back. You just want to let the car, you use the power to extend your drift, and then just let go of it. The car's going to do its own thing, but it will be largely controllable. Because of the way the car's set up, you're not going to have like a ton of speed. The car's going to be nice and predictable. So again, throw it into a slide, use the power to extend, a little bit of turning if you have to. Here's that wobble I was telling you about. Alright. So we'll just do some to the other side as well. So again, car into the drift, a little bit of two, just a bit of turning to help it go, and then just let go. And then we know we're going to let go. Lovely. So just into a drift and stop. That's exercise number 1, and that's going to get you a bit familiar with how the car feels and how the wheel centers itself. So for exercise number 2, we're going to try and do loops, constant loops in opposite look. So we're going to go in car on this one, and I'll attach the replay on the back of this so you can see outside as well. So we're just going to go into a drift, and we're going to just try and go round and round and round as long as we can, doing a drift with opposite look. So into the drift, I'm just going to keep the power down, and I'm going to balance the steering now. I just want to keep constantly turning into the slide to keep the back coming round, but then counter steering as the back comes round. This is something that may look easy to do, but it's actually quite hard if you don't know what we're doing. But will definitely pay off if you can sit here and just practice going round and round and round and round. It may seem a little boring, and I'm not going to do this for too long, but you get the idea. You will need constant steering inputs, as you always will do. But you can just keep the pedal smashed to the floor if you want. You can see the pedal indicator in the bottom right next to the revs, and you're just balancing the steering in third gear. And we'll just quickly go back the other way. So again, we'll catch the slide, bit of power, into a drift, we'll keep it going, we'll go like a small one into a bigger one. This is about modulation of the throttle, but again, we can go big, so all on the power, and we're just going to balance the steering. This is exercise number 2 in a nutshell. It might seem boring, but definitely will teach you buckets about how the game wants to be played. If you've got your wheel calibrated right and a nice tune, like with what you're going to try with this car, you won't need huge adjustments to make the car do what it needs to do. It's all about that fine balance. So guys, exercise number 2 is the extended drift. Nice big circles, and you can, if you want to, try and slow yourself down, bring it in a bit closer. This is, like show off drifting around your friends if you want to. But that's later on in life. There's all the new smoke as well, looking quite nice. So exercise number 3, if you've managed to get down just letting the car catch and getting comfortable with that, and now you can do big long extended drifts, and I think it's time we learn how to change direction, or as the technical term is, transition. So again, third gear, we're going to do all the third gear. So we're going to go into a drift, but now this time it's going to be a little bit harder because we don't have all the room in the world. So what we'll do is we'll try and use half the car park and draw ourselves a figure of 8. This is basically what we're going to try and do. So get yourself comfortable using a bit of a smaller radius, and then when we get about halfway round, we're going to want to try and transition. So let's just see what happens if we let go of the wheel. It goes straight, right? We know that. We've been catching the car. So how do we go past the point? Well, power and a bit more gusto. So we're going to let go of it this time, but I'm going to keep the power down. There we go. Now the whole time the wheel came through my wheel, I didn't just let it turn freely. I did apply a little bit of pressure onto the back of the wheel here. I'm just pinching it very slightly. So let's try that again. This time now with power. So we're going to just leave the power down. I'm going to turn a little bit more and then just let it go. Lovely. So again, we're just going to try and do some figure of eights up here, and this is something where you're going to learn how to balance the throttle and obviously keep the throttle down when you're transitioning. And it's all about the balance. The art of drift is the balance. There's no, you know, you can drift however you want to drift as long as you're sideways. It's not, but there's certain principles that help, and this game does quite well. So as long as you've got the power down, it will always drift for you quite nicely and quite predictably. It's when you start like changing your power level at not the correct moment in time that the car will start to behave funny. So final one, nice big, nice big slide there. We'll go back around. We'll head down. So those are the first three. Those are the first three techniques I think you guys should try to learn how to drift. So I hope this helps. If you've got any questions, comments, anything, you know where to find me on the old comment section or in the wheel community. Myself, Giovanni, Ben, and any of the admins are here to help. And I think what we'll do is we'll make an advanced video a bit further down the line, depending on how well this video goes. So hopefully, just some nice, easy beginner techniques for you guys to learn. And yeah, again, advanced video to follow, I think. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I hope it helps. And we'll see you soon.